Let's start with the open house process. So tell me about your process. How many homes did you invite? When did you do that? All right. So here's what I see. Here's what I'm hearing, and here's what I see. We've got to change what open house you're holding. So
Okay.
here's my first question. What is the average price point in your area?
Oh my gosh, like 1.4.
Okay. So you want to find something that's one or below. Okay.
Okay.
And here's the other piece too. You're in California, so your price range is massive. Anything that you can find that is affordable is going to generate more traffic. Duh. Right. So you want to get something at or below your average price point. That's the first thing.
Okay.
A triplex is you're already limiting your potential
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to be an investor that you're looking for.
Right.
So now you've already cut down who's going to walk through the door.
Okay.
Okay. So think about that. Here's the second piece. So average or below what your price point is. Second thing is something that is family ready and that size, i.e., if it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in your area, then find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. If it is a 4, 2.5, or 3, find something along those lines. You want the average price point or below, and you want the average home that's for a family. Okay, that's your first thing. Third piece of this is you want something that is no more than 3 turns away from a major street. Okay. And there's a reason for that. I'll get to that in just a second. Okay. Next thing, when that alone is going to increase the appeal of what you're looking for. Here's the other piece too. You may want to see if you can find one that doesn't have an ADU.
That's really hard these days
Okay.
because everyone's doing it. It's insane.
Okay.
I hate it because I'm like, why? But
Well, and see, look at what you just said. You're not alone.
right.
Because I can tell you, if I've got a family with kids,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way in hell I'm putting somebody in my backyard.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that it's really strange to me because I work a lot around Burbank. I don't know if you're familiar with what
Mm-hmm.
Burbank media capital of the
Yep.
world.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really expensive neighborhood and it's a really good family-oriented neighborhood. However, if you walk down any block in Burbank, you're going to see 5 different houses on that block that have the construction sign out front saying they're converting their whatever to ADU. And
Okay.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
So,
So, all right, if you can find one, great. If not, then find one that has something that's livable. But that's going to be a challenge,
yeah.
right? Because me as when I'm looking back to the days when I had kids at home, again, I want some stranger in my damn backyard. Not putting
Right.
it, right?
Right.
Not going to happen, right? Okay.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be for a stranger. You could potentially market to somebody that needs a in-law suite that they don't
Right.
particularly want them in the home, but they still want them on the property. I mean, there's
I've
different
done that. I've done that
different
with
ways
when I
to,
do open houses. I'll be like, "Oh, it's a great for a mother-in-law if you don't want a stranger."
There you go.
or an
Yes.
office. I
Or an
mean, convert.
office.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So then here's the next thing. You want to invite 50 or 100 of the closest neighbors,
I've done
right?
that. Yep.
Okay,
Door knock.
perfect.
Yeah.
How many signs did you put out?
So I personally only have 4. So if I'm using just my signs and the other agent doesn't provide me with anything, then I do the 4. If
Okay.
not, if they can give me more, then I'll do more. And Burbank specifically has a limit because they have to be permitted. So you can't do more than a certain amount in Burbank. But yeah, so it just
Okay.
depends on the permit.
Because here's the one thing. The one thing, if there was only one thing that you did to get people through, it is how many signs can you put up?
Mm-hmm.
Kid you not. That is the number one thing that draws people through. So here's the challenge, right? If you've got a home that you've only got 4 signs, and it's 3 turns off of the major road. Well, you got to put one at the major road. You got to put one at the intersection. Then you got to put one at the next turn, and then one in front of the house.
I have
There's
flags too, so I can put the flag in front of the house.
Yeah, well, you can do that, right? But again, if there are 2 entrances to the neighborhood, that means that you're stuck because you can't put one at the other entrance,
Right.
right? So that's not good. Now, you got to at least be able to put up. I mean, you have to be able to put them up at each of the entrances. So that's why it's going to be a challenge to find the right home and do that. And if you can get outside of Burbank and go to a closer area, because they're all the same city. They're just called different things with a line
Yeah.
between. So California. Find one that you can do more and go borrow signs or put them up, because if there's one thing that will generate traffic on an open house, it's how many signs you put up.
I can
And
also get some standard ones, like the red ones that are cheaper.
yeah, you can't. Well, you can also get, if you go to signsonthecheap.com or just look online for them, you can get signs for double-sided, 2 colors for $10, and it's going to take you a couple weeks to get them, but it doesn't matter. Have them so that they are. And here's the other thing. if you got to pick a color, it's a yellow background with a black arrow. Right? We've studied that. I mean, Janie will tell you, the one thing that we did to get 25 plus people through every open house were the signs.
And you said yellow background, black
Yellow
arrow.
background, black arrow. Yep. Because if you look at that from a distance, you can see it.
Steelers
And
colors.
it could be, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't it. We just looked at, we knew what attracted the eyes, right?
Right.
And so you look at that, it's like signs on a business. If you drive down a street, there are certain colors, and all of you guys do this sometime. Drive through a neighborhood or not a neighborhood, drive through an area with businesses, notice the colors of the signs that stick out and that you see. I'm gonna tell you, you'll see every yellow one.
Yeah,
right?
that's also why fast food restaurants use red and yellow. Red
What's
makes
McDonald's? What's McDonald's? What is McDonald's?
Red and yellow.
Huh.
That was In and Out. That was a bunch of other places.
Exactly, right? So you look at that, that's why I use yellow background, black arrow, because it just, you see it from 3 miles away.
Right.
And then, and put those out. That's going to, if you do those things, Jen, you're going to get people coming through. Here's the other piece of it too. Don't be afraid to do something in the middle of the week when nobody else is doing an open house.
I've done those. Yeah, I've done Thursday night twilight ones.
Yep. We've just got to get you the right open house and a place where you can put a lot more signs out.
Okay.
That's your big key.
Yeah. Because real estate here really is really unaffordable. I don't know why. I mean, I get why they say LA is supposedly one of the most affordable places in as of 2024, but it really isn't.
No, California in it. You cannot put anybody that puts out one of those studies is paid by California to put out that study.
Yeah, because Los Angeles is not affordable. I mean, I'm 32, and everybody that I know is in their 30s, and I only know 3 people in their 30s that own a house.
Yeah, when your average is $750,000 in reality, no.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, but that doesn't make it any easier for you, right? If you can find 750 as opposed in your area is 1 or 1.4, man, you're gonna get a crap load of people that are walking through that, right? I mean, that's just the way. Also, the other piece of that too is do it with a mortgage person. Get a mortgage person party or to do this with you so they can help put up the signs, and they can also do a raffle for an iPad or a flat screen TV, and then you capture leads.
I have a lender who's like really big and into that kind of stuff. So if I talk to him, maybe he could do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because those things are cheap now. I mean, you can get those things for under $150, sometimes even under $100 for a decent. I mean, yeah, it's a great way to capture, and it's a non-intrusive way for you to capture names and numbers and make follow-up calls.
Okay.
So either it's, I mean, you have 2 calls, I'm sorry you didn't win. And what I did find for, whatever, or congratulations, you won. All right. When can I deliver this to you?
Yeah. Right? Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And then the mortgage person's there too, because for some reason they're not looked at as salespeople like we are. It's it's just a different perception from the public. And they'll capture leads and names and numbers for you as well. Perfect. So, and then you just work them together. Okay. You become each other's person. So, but it's got to be the right house. It's got to be.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe that's the key, because a lot of the houses that I've been doing they weren't ideal, but it was what I could get. So I just did it.
Yes.
Because we do have very limited inventory, but so I'll go back to trying that again and getting back on consistently doing that.
Do you have any for sale by owners that are popping up? Okay. Any expired listings?
There have been more so lately.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do a 3-day listing agreement with them and show that and tell them, hey, listen, I'd like you to give me a try before you put this back on the market, make a mistake. Give me 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to do an open house, do my open house process. If I sell it during that time, great. And if not, you can decide whether you want to extend it and do a full listing after seeing what I'm going to do just this weekend.
That's a good way of doing it. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic opportunity to do that, because you're seeing homes that are starting to extend now. It's not what Janie and I just looked at one that's been on 101 days. So it's definitely do that.
Yeah, it's definitely getting a little bit dragged out over here too. So, okay, I'll start working some of that.
Let me give you the other thing you can do too. Okay, sure. So since you haven't been on here, you probably didn't see the 555 training, did you?
Actually, I think I might have been on that one.
Did you? Okay.
Was it
the 5 to your 5 to your sphere, 5 to somebody that dropped off, and then 5 to past clients, although you may not have all of those things. Right. So just increase, and it could even be Facebook where you're sending that, hey, I'm not sure if this is for you, but right.
Yeah.
Okay. Go back and find that one, because it's on the site, and I'm going to stick it in the Facebook group as well, because what has that? Shar can tell you this. Shar sent out 2 of them and got messages back. Right. It starts a conversation with it.
Yeah. Well, I just started. some newsletters to past clients and
Yep.
people that like didn't work out. And I actually got one of the guys that didn't work out. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to buy by the holidays this year, so I'll let you know." And I was like, "Okay."
That's it. And that's the message. It's, hey, I'm not sure if it's for you, but we were, working a month or so ago. The interest rates have gone down and there's some great opportunities. Would you be interested in seeing more, finding out what's out there? Just start the conversation with those and then carry it from there. And I put all of those prompts on that course as well, so you can see them and just use them. But there are 3 of those pieces.
Okay.
If you will do that, if you'll find the right house, do it correctly. If you will do the 5x5 or 5x5, you'll have people under contract in the next 30 days.
Promote an open house. This might not be for you, but I'm going to be doing an open house at.
No, that's a good point too. Yeah.
Who do you know that may be interested in or is looking?
Okay.
Yeah, that perfect. And that exactly is the script right there.